Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Shhhcrets, where we unpack the stories that keep unfolding like a bad season of your least favorite reality show. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because this episode is going to ruffle some feathers. Let's start with the facts. Halle Bailey has filed a restraining order against DDG, and the details are not just alarming, they're disturbing. According to TMZ, this isn't about a messy breakup. This is about physical abuse, intimidation, and emotional torment that's been escalating for months. Halle alleges that during a child exchange in January, DDG became agitated while she was buckling their son, Halo, into a car seat. He reportedly screamed at her, "Get out my car, bitch," while the baby was crying in the back seat. What followed, according to Halle, was a physical altercation. He pulled her hair, slammed her face into the steering wheel, and chipped her tooth. And that's just the beginning. She says he later broke into her home, went into her bedroom uninvited, and sent her a photo of her empty bed with the caption, "Now I know what you've been on, LOL." When she tried to stop another visit because Halo was sick, he allegedly smashed her Ring camera, stole her phone, and threw it out the car window while yelling more profanity. She's provided photos of bruises, her chipped tooth, and says she has video evidence. A judge granted her a restraining order. He must now stay 100 yards away from her and stop discussing her or their son on social media. She's been granted permission to travel to Italy with their baby while she films a movie. And yet, instead of showing remorse, DDG ran straight to live streams and TikTok, crying about not being allowed to see his son, fueling drama and painting himself as the wounded dad being kept from his child. So, let me say this plainly. I believe Halle. I support Halle. And I applaud her for going to the police instead of playing into the online circus. But here's where we have to get real. Halle, while a victim of this violence, is not completely without fault in the buildup to this situation. Let's not act like there were no signs. This man's violent, manipulative behavior didn't start with Halle. It started with the exes before her. There have been whispers, stories, and full-on warning signs about how DDG treated women in his past. And while yes, we're not in her circle, those stories weren't exactly hidden. They were out there. Conversations about his temper, controlling ways, and gaslighting were circulating long before she was publicly seen with him. But like so many women, Halle seemed to think she'd be different, that she would be the exception, the special one, the good girl who could make him better. And I hate to say it, but this is what frustrates me. How many women have to be sacrificed to the same cycle before we stop thinking love can change a man who doesn't want to change? You are not the exception. You are the next victim. If a man has a history of abusing, degrading, and disrespecting women, you are not going to love him into transformation. You are going to suffer, maybe silently, maybe publicly. But the result is the same: pain, embarrassment, and sometimes lifelong trauma. And don't get me wrong, the blame here is squarely on DDG for his violent and reckless behavior. But I'm tired of women volunteering themselves for men with known reputations, only to be shocked when they do the same thing they've done before. DDG is not misunderstood. He's not complicated. He's not just young or emotional. He's abusive, period. He admitted to cheating out of spite. He leveraged his followers to attack Holly's image. He twisted the narrative to make her look like the problem. That is not a man who wants to co-parent. That's a man obsessed with control and ego. And let's be honest, this whole baby situation gave him more relevance than he's had in years. A man who wasn't being checked for, suddenly basking in the glow of being linked to a Disney princess. Of course, he's spiraling now that it's over. His entire rebrand just imploded. So to the girls watching this who think being sweet, soft, and supportive will save you from a man like this, please stop. You cannot outlove someone's dysfunction. You will not be different. You will not be spared. These men don't need partners. They need therapy and consequences. And to Holly, I truly hope this is your wake-up call. You are not to blame for his abuse, but I do hope you reflect on the choices that brought you here. I hope you rebuild, recenter, and realize that being ride or die only works when the person you're riding for isn't driving you straight into hell. Guys, let me know your thoughts. Are y'all as tired as I am of seeing women ignore every red flag thinking they'll be the one? Do you think DDG's done for after this? Or will he spin this again and keep playing the victim? That's it for today's episode. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And remember, history doesn't lie. Believe who they were the first time, not the fantasy they sell you.